my long-term goals is to push hard to have a shelter. I have a compassion for that, and the reason why is because the fact I saw the need, and one of the need was that, okay, you tell me I have 90 days to stay in a shelter. How am I supposed to apply for assistance and get help and stay in a shelter at the same time and try to get my 4 kids in school? Now we're just all unstable, and you want me to find a job in 90 days? In 90 days, I feel like me having a shelter will make a difference to this county. And the reason why I say that is because it will be no 90 days. It will be as long as you're working towards goals to get yourself together, as long as you're making progress. And I feel like they need to have more people to come in that teach classes, help them with their GED. Some of them don't have a high school diploma. Some of them don't have a GED. They just don't have it. They're lack of education. They don't know computer skills. They don't know this. So we need to have these things incorporated in the shelter to help them get out, to help them get back on their feet. Because, you know, look at the people that come home from jail. Statistics say a lot of them end up back in jail. Why? Because they don't have the support that they need. You want them to come out and get their self, but how are you really rehabilitating them?
You know, Tanya, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but you said something that was really key to me. If you are in a homeless shelter and you're trying to find a roof over your head for you and your family, how are you going to think about pulling yourself together to find a job? You know, you're busy trying. I mean, it's like a catch-22 or a tail wagging the dog. You need a job to find a home, but you're still trying to find a home, but you don't have a job by which you can afford the home. So we have to look at what is critical first, the job or the house or the roof. I think we have to really look very critical at that for folks. But you have these senior women who, for all intents and purposes, you have ageism. I was telling Walla, you have women, unfortunately, because of their age, they will not get hired.
Definitely.
So we have to look at that as well. So, you know, what are the real job opportunities for women 50 and over? Because they'll tell you women 40 and over are suffering from ageism and discrimination because you are 40 and over.
Yep.
So, you know, and if you are a minority woman, particularly a black woman, 40 and over, without the appropriate skills, you're just completely, you know, screwed, for lack of a better word.
Right.
So we really have to take this bull by the horn and really let our legislators and our future legislators know that this is a critical issue facing our county, and it can no longer be ignored.
Well, I wanted to sort of touch on something. We need sort of a full service when it comes to those in need. One of the things I know the teachers union has been really pushing community schools, right? An idea is that if a family goes into a school, there will be a doctor there will be social services there will be all these different things. Wraparound services. And one thing they don't really have that in shelters. And that is something that's very confusing, is that you have the people that are really in need and probably need homes and food stamps and things like that, and then they have to go and try to apply for that while trying to look for, you know, opportunity. I know there's a woman that called me 3 weeks ago who right now is in the shelter, and she's got all, you know, when you're in the shelter, you without a home, you got all these problems. She's got to be able to get full custody of her child. She needs to be able to get some food, a food stamp set up. She needs to be, and then she's got issues with that, so she got to go back and forth with social services. But the problem is that, what is the cost for her to keep going up and back to social services to keep trying to see why is she being denied? Why is she so then the question is, why is Social Security in this one building? Shouldn't they be out in the community? So that's something that would change in the thought process of government, because government sometimes isn't very efficient in their thinking. And we need to get it to wraparound services. So like, instead of social services being in one big old building, in fact, the big old building should be smaller. because that should be more of an administrative wing. And then social services should be out in the community.
Yep.
So then they should be posted in shelters, posted in schools, so that people have such easy service to them and don't have to. Because what happens if you find people are going to reach out to people like me, asking me about things that they can get from social services, and they don't know that they can get it from social services where they're in a place of need, and they don't know how to get access to social services. So we need to do the same thing. Even you will even find in mental homes and nursing homes, close to nursing homes, or anything like that. Even those places, the people, if they have issues, they have to work with a social worker, but the social worker needs to be able to connect with social service. So it's like a big disconnect, and that's something we could do to make it make more sense. Because I'm dealing with this one woman where I'm like, oh, well, you need to get this paperwork from social services, and she's like, well, I can't afford to go back to social services. I don't have enough money on my card, it's my trip card. I don't have much money anymore. But the point is, why should she even have to think of that? So we need to make it make more sense. We only have so many shelters in Prince George's County.
Yeah.
Social services should have an office in every shelter.
And while I'm glad you touched bases on that, because that's what Empower and Encourage is working on now. And that's one of the things, and hopefully, prayerfully, by January the 1st, I will be that organization, that families that's lacking funding, that may need tokens to get back and from social services, that I will be able to do that for them, as well as I'll be contracting with agencies to sponsor rides for them to get to social services and back. And then maybe also taking them to Department of Motor Vehicle, because a lot of them don't have IDs, and so as long as they having a referral from an agency that they are progressing, I will be able to help support them in getting their ID, as well as transportation to and from on the times that we contract with the agency to do that. So hopefully by January 1, I'll be up and running with that. So I'll look forward to, helping out in any kind of way that I can with that.
I want to say something.